What's going through your mind as Bray Wyatt? What was the genesis for creating Bray Wyatt, the character? How did that all come about? Because certainly there have been comparisons to Dan Spivey's character of Waylon Mercy.
And this, the way I explain this is it went in chapters, man. It wasn't just like right. You said, I didn't just find it. But what people don't know is that I did this character. I've probably been doing it for over 3.5 years now, and for a year, no one saw it. The day I was told one day, basically, change, or we don't need you anymore. And that infuriated me, and I was very blindsided by that. I wasn't expecting it. I thought I had been recalibrated, and I thought I was doing great. And on that day, for whatever reason, Danny Spivey was at the Performance Center back then in the FCW Arena. And I sat with Danny, and I just started talking to Danny. And he was kind of giving me some insight. His nephew was there at the time, and I wrestled against his nephew in high school and played football against him in college, so I was close with him. You know him, Hackman, the one Tough Enough, Andy Levine.
Right.
And and I guess he just came to see Andy. But I sat down, I started talking with Waylon today. And he started explaining to me what that character was, and I became really interested in it. And so I went back and I watched some Waylon, and then I started watching De Niro and Cape Fear.
Yep.
And I go, man, there's something here. And I started doing it, but then it grew and grew and grew. And next thing you know, I'm listening to interviews with Charles Manson, and I saw the movie Red State, and Rob Zombie's films have been a huge influence.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like it, and combine that with my natural mind for propaganda and conspiracies, and it just flowed together, and it became something natural to me. It became someone could throw me a mic live on Raw and take it off for 8 minutes, and I could fill it up, and it would make sense to me because that's who I am. That's who I wanted to be, which is the polar opposite of Husky. If you would have thrown Husky a microphone and said, talk, go, it would have just been wrong. It wouldn't have been me. And that's kind of that was the beginning stages of it.
So how did you come up with the name Bray Wyatt?
Very cool, interesting question. When I was talking to Waylon, I imagine it came from Waylon Jennings, the first name, Mercy. I'm not sure where that came from, but he was telling me about how he got the character from Cape Fear. But what was real interesting is that he's from around the same region I'm from, Florida.
Right.
And he's going, man, I grew up with so many crazy jobs. I just took inspiration from people that I knew growing up. And so when I went back and I started doing the Bray Wyatt character, I had ideas for a name, this and that. But then I thought back to my roots and where I came from. And I had a childhood friend. His name was Bray Wyatt.
Right.
And Bray Wyatt was one of the most intense individuals I've ever known. He was in a car accident when he was young, and he lost the feeling in his face, and he's got these scars on his face, and he was basically impossible to knock out because he had no feeling in his face.
Right.
And he was just this intense country boy, a little older than me. I looked up to him when I was a kid, and so the name Bray came from him. And Wyatt is Wyatt Earp.
Wyatt Earp. So you're a Western fan as well.
I will say, yeah, what I like is I like outlaws. I'm an Oakland Raiders fan because I like outlaws. I like tough things, you know what I mean? I think you can respect that.
I can. Let's talk about your theme music, because from what I've gathered, you were surfing the internet or going over a database of songs, and you come across a song done by Mark Crozer. Now, when I first heard your music, man, I'm a big Alice in Chains fan. It almost sounded like something
Oh
that
yeah,
they would do with a little bit of Lane Staley in there, but it was not. It was this dude named Mark Crozer. You found this song, so
yeah.
how did you present this to the powers that be in WWE and say, "Dig this. This is what I want to use as my song"?
And yeah, that's another interesting little tale. There's a guy at FCW who I owe a lot to for that. His name was Rob Naylor. And they came in and they told everyone, we got a new database. Everyone's getting new music down here. So, everyone goes in, they hear the first little generic rock beat, and they go, yeah, that's me.
Right.
So they're all going in there for 5 minutes. But me and Rob Naylor, I said, I'm not leaving this place, Rob, until I am satisfied and I know that I've found the one. So I spent days in there with Naylor, and we were looking for just everything. And I kind of stumbled into, I said, type in Radiohead, because you would search the database and there's likenesses. So I typed in Radiohead because I liked the way it was just different. I didn't want rock music because it wouldn't have been right. I didn't want rap because it wouldn't have been right. I wanted stylized music that fit Bray Wyatt. And we found this blank track, no name. We didn't know who made it, but it was Live in Fear by Mark Crozer. And right when we heard it, we literally played it over the loudspeaker in the arena. And I walked out to it. And it was just that feeling of, man, this captured the essence of everything that I was trying to portray. This is the right thing, And we went with it. And since day one, I've always had that song down in FCW, through NXT, through all that. I had that song. And like I said, we never knew who made it. And I saw Mark Crozer's name for the first time pop up on Facebook, or not Facebook, I don't have one of those.